Hello my dear privacy lovers! Today I'm launching a new video series dedicated to reviews of different websites and revealing privacy laws mistakes which I might catch during these reviews. In this playlist, I will review different websites, mobile apps, maybe SaaS platforms, and all other web resources that you might share with me. Before continuing watching this video, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. It will help me grow and develop the channel and continue recording such kind of videos. So let's begin with this new website that I randomly picked up today, and let's see which privacy mistake we'll notice today. So this website I see for the first time. My legal assistants helped me pick it up, and they told me that this website really requires my attention. So today I will explore it. I will go through main points that I will notice, and I will for sure suggest how to make it better. Okay, let's just browse quickly the website, and I want to understand which sections, which website pages I will see here. Okay, learn more. Here we see blog, I guess. This is another click button for book your vacation, email us, call us, to text. Here the footer website. Okay, here I see newsletter, subscription, and here links to terms of use and privacy policy. Okay, perfect. I have already seen some moments, so let's begin step by step. This is our first screen, as I understand, and here we can click on explore our trip types. Let's see what we have here. Here is a description of trip types. I see that we again have the button to book your vacation, and we have also some links to learn more. We will not do it right now because usually these buttons do not follow any privacy practices, any website pages where any information can be collected. Yeah, so it's just a description of this blog. Okay, let's move here. Here we see different descriptions, travel support, again description, learn more button. Here we see integrated YouTube link. It means that this website uses integration practices and integrates some third-party services. This is our first point to remember, because this practice will need to be highlighted in privacy policy, and it shall be made clear. Okay, again we see the same screen with book your vacation, email us, and call or text. So as for now, we will stop here, and we will move for this one for the previous page. Let's try to press on the button book your vacation, and I'm sure that we will find a lot of information that these websites collect. Yeah, for sure. So at this page where you can book your trip, we see some pieces of personal data which this website collects. As you might see, it collects email addresses, it collects first name and last name of visitors, or yeah, I guess it will be visitors. Okay, password. This is if you want to sign up, and this is if you want to log in. Okay, it makes sense. Okay, understood. Here we see the checkbox that you need to agree before signing up. It's really a good practice, and this is the correct one. But the mistake that I see right now is that while agreeing to this, you need to agree only to the terms of use. I actually do not understand why the company didn't include the link to privacy policy, because it should be actually made first, as this type of website form, it collects a lot of information, a lot of personal data, and first of all you need to include the link to your privacy policy for sure. So this is like the first mistake which I see it right now. So we understood and highlighted the following types of personal data: first name and last name, and email addresses. Let's keep it in mind, because then we will check it in privacy policy. Now I want to go back to the first page, to the first website page, and let's explore some other screens. Okay, here I see not website, actually this is reviews from previous users, as I understand. Yeah. The company claims that it has more than 43,000 of travelers. It's pretty a lot, especially in the light of United States privacy laws. Because we have different threshold criteria defined by various United States privacy laws, and if your company meets one or several of them, you will need to follow these laws. So if this company really collects such kind of data and such amount of data, it will need to take into account these United States privacy laws for sure. We will see in the privacy policy of this website, when we do it later today, whether the company include any privacy statements about United States privacy laws. And then I will be able to comment you more about these numbers, about the number of users which company might collect, because I'm not sure as of now. Yeah. Let's see on this screen where I can see different reviews. But this is not reviews from this website, because it's again integrated platform, Trustpilot. It means that it is the second website integrated on this one. And again, we are putting in mind that the website integrates some links, some external links, and you will need to mention this both in your terms of use and in privacy policy. Yep. Okay. Let's move forward. Here we see that company claims about its support, 24 hours per day. I see this. Okay, I see that this forms can forward you to send an email to company, contact us page. Okay, so this like the third forwarding, and call or text us. Good. And in this case, we are forwarding to Open Sky. Okay, cool. Let's see the first screen, the first web page. Contact us. Travel support, questions. You can phone the company or you can email. Good. So you choose, for example, your question and what next. Okay, cool. And what next? We see the form, the website, another website form, which collects a number of other personal data. Okay, and in this case, we see again another website forms where we see first name, we see last name. This is 2 pieces of personal data. Number of travelers, but it's optional. Yeah, no? I guess yes. Number of nights, okay, number of hotel rooms. All these options, they do not relate to personal data, so we will not stop at them right now. Departure airport, again, we will not consider this. Email and message. Email will be regarded as personal data, so we'll take into account this. And message. Be sure to mention any content that your user shares with you in your privacy policy, because you will not be aware of what kind of information your user will share with you in this message form. It can share some sensitive data, it can share some personal data, and all this information which user will share with you, it will be regarded to be collected by your company. And in this case, you will need to mention this in your privacy policy, that all user content, user message which your website visitor or your user shares with you, it is collected by your company. So you will need to make it clear for your users as well. So we will check this in privacy policy of this company later today. Again, email us, call us. On the Book Your Vacation, we have already been there, so we will omit it for now. We can move to the previous page, and let's see what we have more. Yeah, postponements, cancellations. Okay, let's learn about this policy. Maybe we will find some useful information here as well. Postponement policy. Okay. I don't see any privacy collection practices here. Here again, and this is another website form. If you have any questions, you may see, yeah, or if you want to clarify some information, you can call the support team, or you can just fill in this form. And again, the subject, message, email, first name, last name. If, for example, subject will not be considered personal data, remember that in message form, your user can share some personal data with you. So you will need to make it clear, and you will need to know to mention this in your privacy policy. Good. I already see that the company collects some pieces of personal information from various website forms. It is good for us. I mean, it's good in the term of highlighting this moment for you and showing you how you need to investigate the website and how you need to check all website page if you want to be sure that you mentioned all personal data and you do not forget anything. Yeah, that's really important. Again, reviews. Again, if you want to comment or to get a reply to any of your questions, you can also fill in the form. But in this form, look at this. In this form, I see a new form, a new line of the form, order number. I suppose this form was made for the users that have already made some bookings in the website and they want to address some issue. But again, the types of personal data are the same: first name, last name, email addresses, message. So keep in mind that these data are just the same. Yeah. Good. And what's here? Explore more frequently asked questions. Let's see what is here. This is venture. Okay, this is some kind of ad. Maybe, I'm not sure. Registration, unit 1 offer. What is this? Are you ready for an adventure and for a chance to win? This is some kind of competition, or I would say the company. Actually, I see the link that is going to a third-party link that is going to another website. Yeah, I suppose this is an embedded ad. This is really interesting for us. It means that the company collects personal data of users for third-party marketing, and it shares personal data of users with other companies for marketing purposes, but not for companies' internal marketing purposes, but for third-party purposes, for marketing reasons. And it's really necessary to remember about this because, as I mentioned, most of privacy laws, including the United States privacy laws, they made a special accent on marketing purposes, on collecting data for marketing purposes. You need to make clear, you need to highlight all this information in your policy and make it clear for your users that you perform these practices. And for sure, you'll need to give your users some privacy rights with regard to these privacy practices. So we will check this later today. Here we see the blog. Okay, let's check one practice which we might find here. Sometimes users are able to leave comments, and if they do this, we will also need to mention this in our privacy policy. So let's see. Okay, no, we don't see. We see that this link, all this blog and all these materials that we see on this website, they have links that direct us to external website, and in this case to Instagram. So again, just to keep in mind that the website has another integrated website links, another external links, and we will need to mention this as well. Yeah, I will close this one because it doesn't relate to our issue again also. So we understood this is the blog with embedded links, external links to other websites, so it doesn't possess any interest for us. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, we will close this one and we will move further. Book a vacation, just to check one more time whether it's the same website form. Yeah, this is the same, so we remember which types of data the company collects from these website forms. So we will come back here. Email us and call us or text us, we also explored, yeah, so we can omit it for now. Let's see the most interesting part, which all lawyers pay attention to. This is the footer website, and we can see we have here the sign up for our newsletter form. It's interesting practice that it's embedded in the footer of the website. It's not usual, but okay. We see the links to terms of use and privacy policy, and we will explore privacy policy today. Remember about signing up for your newsletter. When company collects any data, any personal data, including email, first name and last name, for marketing email purposes, you will need to provide your users with opting out options. And most laws, most privacy laws of the world have these user rights embedded within their provisions. So what this company says is, needs contact information from you, understood, you may unsubscribe. Okay, so company, it claims that you can unsubscribe, this is good. For information on how to unsubscribe as well as our privacy practices, you can please review our privacy policy. Okay, see guys, we see here that company mentioned its privacy policy for the first time. This is good, but what is bad? I don't see here any hyperlink. I cannot click on this link on this privacy policy and just follow it from this point. I cannot do this. And this is not good, because if you collect some data and your users cannot review your privacy policy before signing up, before submitting data, it makes them unclear for which type of data you collect, for what purposes, how will you use them, etc. It's not good, guys. You'll need to at least to provide hyperlink to the privacy policy so users can click it before submitting any information. And so I also see on this footer links to external social media resources. I see here Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube. Okay, company has a lot of social media resources. Okay, we can actually try to see. Pick up and go. Okay, company has more than 700 subscribers here. Perfect. We also see website link, just checking whether they're active, because I will explain you why it's important. Yeah, I see here also. Oh, it's interesting. More than 200,000 followers. It's really good practice, but I'm not sure that this is all real, but doesn't matter for me. Yeah, this is not my area of expertise. Okay, and here we also see a lot of followers. Cool. What does it mean in terms of privacy practices? It means that if your users, if your website visitors follow this link and they contact you in any of the social media platform, either from Facebook or Instagram or any other else, it means that you might collect some pieces of personal data from these visitors, from these platforms. So this is important to mention in your privacy policy as well, that your company may collect personal data from external resources, from third-party resources, social media platforms, like the one that you can see here. So, it's now the time to look at privacy policy and to check whether all this information that we mentioned here, that we see here today, whether or not it is included in privacy policy. Here is our privacy policy. I will just quickly browse it to see the whole structure and to see how good it is collected and structured. Okay, data security changes, contact information. Or collect. Okay, guys. So the first issue that I noticed right now is that this privacy policy doesn't have information about its effective date. I cannot understand when this policy was adopted, when it's become active, or maybe this policy was updated. And in this case, I need to see the information about the last change which were made to this privacy policy. I do not see this information. This is not good, especially in the light of California privacy law, for example. I will tell you a bit later about this. Let's start browsing and exploring step by step. So please read this privacy policy carefully. This is introductory part, as I understood. Yeah, this is the company, this LLC company, okay. Pick up and go, the privacy policy describes from this website. Company mentions that it collects user data only from this website. So we understand that this is like the main website, the main resources of this company, and it claims that all privacy practices of these companies, they are covered only by this website. Okay, so this policy applies to information we collect on this website, through email, text, photographs, our service, and other electronic messages between you and this website. Okay, this is understood, this is really good. But see guys, I don't see here information that the company might collect personal data from third-party resources, because we saw that company has social media links, and I'm sure that sometimes some users, some website visitors that might contact companies through these links as well, and I'm sure that they share some information with them, and company might collect some data, some nicknames, some emails from these users as well. But I don't see this information mentioned here. I would suggest doing this and adding this information. Let's see what's next. This exemptions. It doesn't apply to information collected by, okay, communication about us offline, okay, and any third-party resource, including through application and any, yeah, this is right. This is the right point, and you need to mention this for sure, because we saw a lot of links, Instagram links, we also saw Trustpilot links, and it's important to note that your company does not refer to this external websites, external resources, and it doesn't have any connection with this. What's next? Okay, this is the confirmation that this policy might change from time to time. You continue to use. Okay, I noticed here information about that this policy might change, so let's check one more information, how actually the company notified its users about changing this policy. Usually this information is embedded in their last sections of their privacy policy, and we can see it right here. If this policy is updated, might change this policy on this, we will make update on this page. Okay, if we make material changes to how we treat our users' personal information, we will notify you by email to the primary email address or through a notice on the website homepage. The date the privacy policy was last revised is identified at the top of the page. Very interesting. And where is this information, guys? I do not see not only the information about the last update, I do not see information even about the effective date of this policy. So how can I understand when this privacy policy was last updated? And as I have already mentioned, this information is really important in the light of Californian privacy law. Actually, the first Californian privacy law, which was adopted in 2004, it was the Californian Land Privacy Act, which was the first act which related to privacy practices. It's one of the requirements that businesses disclose information about their this is one of the requirements that businesses disclose information about the date they last made change to their privacy policy. So we also noted it. Let's move forward. Information about the age restriction. Okay, this is understandable because usually most companies that operate in the United States, they said this requirement is 13 years because in this case you will not need to apply with federal regulations governing children's data, governing personal data collected from children. That's why companies make accent on this, and they require a verification from parent if children under 13 years want to access this website, right? So this section is really important. This is good. Here we see information we collect about and how. It's the most important part of all privacy policies, and usually this is in the first two sections you will see this information. This information highlights what types of personal data you collect. You can also categorize them, you can also group them, so it will be easier for users to read and to understand. And here also company included their purposes for use, so how we collect, it will highlight purposes of use. So let's try to check this information and to understand whether it correlates with the practices which we just investigated. Company collects several types of information. Okay, and okay, so the company mentioned the first group. It doesn't name it, but we see that here we see name, postal address, email addresses, telephone numbers, or any other information the website collects that is identified as personal identifiable information. Yeah, that's right. But at the same time, guys, we didn't see postal address, but I suppose this is because there are other forms on the website which I didn't explore now. But when users browse website and, for example, make some bookings, they also need to include their postal address at some stage of website form or website registration. So that's good. At the same time, I don't see mentioning surnames, but the company collects surnames as well. Email address, telephone numbers, cool. Yeah, we saw that company provides 24-hour support, and they also had the option to connect, to call them. It means that they collect telephone numbers as well. This is good. Again, information. What's next? Company also claims that it collects information from internet connection, equipment request, access. Usually, this information is called automatically collected information because it doesn't require your users to actively provide consent to the collection of this information. This is like technical type of information, and these data are collected by websites or, for example, mobile apps automatically. And I would also categorize this to maybe I would add some context for users to understand how you collect this and how they actually do this. But we will check, maybe this information is just added later on this website. So guys, we saw the information that was missed right here from our point of view, and also I also don't see here the description that user content is also collected, because we investigated some forms where, like this, for example, where we have message forms and where users might share some types of personal information. So there is no notice about this. And again, we see another section. We collect this information directly from you when you provide it via trip survey. Okay, automatically. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Automatically, as soon as you get through this website, through the cookies, web beacons, and other tracking technologies. Okay, this is good. I'm sure that this website collects this information through cookies because we saw advertising on the website. And by the way, I will also show you a live hack how to check it. Right now, all my third-party cookies blocked, but when I make such kind of audits and reviews, I always check whether or not company places cookies. In most cases, all websites, all SaaS platforms or mobile apps will for sure place some cookies on your web browsers. It's a normal practice. The problem arises only in these cases when you collect some types of cookies, like non-essential ones, to which we can relate marketing cookies, analytics cookies. And if you do this without notification, without mentioning in this privacy policy about this is not good practice. You need to do this. And if we speak, for example, in the light of European privacy law, in GDPR, for example, you will need to get active consent from your users. But in this case, I see that company might not collect information from users from European Union. That's why they do not have any cookie banner about containing information that the company actually places some cookies. So right now I've embedded and allowed all third-party cookies to see how we can see them. See, right here we see information that we can see different third-party links and websites, which I actually even haven't noticed, haven't highlighted when we were exploring it previously. But here you can easily see all of them. You can see Facebook, you can see Google, HubSpot forms. Okay, that's also general practice. TikTok, Facebook again. What does it mean, guys? It means that this website actively collects places and collects cookies which are placed by third-party resources, and you can see this information right now. It's one of the options, just one of the ways to check how your company collects this cookie, places this cookie. And for sure, as I mentioned, you need to note it. You need to make a note in your privacy policy about this. see right here, the company also mentioned that it collects some information from third parties, for example, from their business partners. Maybe they do this, I cannot check it right now. I do not understand which types of business partners they collect data from. It's difficult to understand from this first look. But the company doesn't mention again that they collect data from third parties such as social media platforms. They do not name them, they just omit this. But I would suggest doing this because this is also one of the ways that the company collects their data, the data of users. Information you provide to us. And here we see that company makes some clarification about the web ways and about the types of information that they may collect. What we see here, information that you provide us by filling out the forms. Yeah, it makes sense. It's what we are talking about earlier today. At the time of requesting services, we also ask you for information when you enter contest, okay, or promotion was sponsored by us. Yeah, this is the information about contents and promotion that we saw on the website earlier. We saw that it was third-party links, it was directing to external websites, but the company mentioned that they sponsored this. Okay. Records and copies of your correspondence. Yeah, this is the types of information which we're exploring right here. For example, messages. Yeah, or for example, if you directly send an email to a company, they also refer this information to the correspondence. What else? Your responses to service. Yeah, okay. The company makes some service and they also collect this information in this way. Your search queries on the websites, details of transactions you carry out through the websites. You may provide financial information in places. The company mentioned that you may provide financial information, but it doesn't make clear for me they do this. So maybe not, maybe they do, maybe they do not do this. But I haven't found any forms. But again, I haven't completed any bookings. I haven't go through the final step. So maybe they actually collect it, or maybe they use third-party financial providers which process this payment information from users on their behalf. We do not know for sure. Yeah, this is also important information about how the company collects user contributions. And in this case, we can talk about all types of information which users might share with the company through these message forms, or website forms, and other possible forms. Information we collect through automatic data collection technologies. And again, company mentioned this. Actually, guys, I do not know why the company doesn't make it structured in a structured way, so I could see easily how it is everything going, because usually you need to categorize all ways of personal data collection, and then you just drop them with the types of data you collect, and it makes easier for users to understand in which ways what types of information you collect. Because in this case, I just read a lot of information, I read a lot of blogs of different details, but they are not structured and they just like some kind of chaos. Yeah. We right now read again about automatically collected data, and I don't know. This is okay. I understood this technical information that I mentioned earlier today, and I understood that it's collected. Yeah, I understood it's important. This is fine. It's statistical data. Okay, we may maintain them. Okay, here company provides some details. Why do they collect automatically information that they refer to statistical data? They describe the purposes for which they use this information. That's good, but again, I cannot see your other purposes. Okay, we will see them next. Good. So the company just decided to make it in such a way that they place information about the types of personal data they collect, and only then they describe why they collect automatically collected data, and later they will describe all purposes. Okay, no problem, but I will do it in other way, as I mentioned. And here we see that automatic data collection practices which kind of cookies and other tracking technologies the company uses. Here is the description and explanation of the cookie file. Okay, flash cookies and web beacons. We do not collect personal information automatically, but we may tie this information to personal information about you that we collect from other sources. This is very interesting sentences and point. I don't understand how company can place such contradictory information. We just saw information about automatically collected data, and the company several times makes accents on this, that they do collect information automatically. They do it through cookies, through web beacons, through other tracking technologies, but the company finally makes statements they do not collect automatic information. That's really strange, guys. I do not know who did write this privacy policy, but it's clear that it requires attention. Okay, now finally we get to purposes description, how we use the information, and this paragraph should clarify this information, should make it clear for users for which purposes the company collects personal data. We use information for the following purposes: to present our website, okay, to provide you with information, fulfill other purposes. This is not good point. To fulfill any other purposes to which you provide it, you will need to make every aspect of your privacy policy clear for your users. You do not need to collect any personal data for just in case basis, for any purposes that you cannot realize as of now, just for future reason. No, you need to make it clear and do not include any unnecessary information, any unnecessary purposes that might arise in the future. You need to state only the purposes which you have for now, so your users need to understand them. To carry out obligations and enforce contracts, this is okay, alright. To notify you about changes, again, notification about changes, information about which we do not see in this website or in this privacy policy. To allow you to participate in interactive features, any other purposes, for any other purposes with your consent. Okay, just a quick notice here. I didn't find information, I didn't see the information that the company collects data for personalized advertising, or to, for example, to collect data for marketing purposes, but we saw information about advertising that company places on its website, but nothing here about this. I also didn't find information that company collects data for surveys, yeah, because the company earlier mentioned them as well. So I see that this section requires attention as well, and I just to explain why. Okay, guys. So right here, I see information about advertisement. Even though we do not disclose your personal information for this purpose without your consent, if you click on the other interact with an advertisement, okay, the advertising may assume that you meet its target criteria. Okay, so yeah, they made it clear for you if you want to participate in this surveys, yeah, that we saw. I will not choose, yeah, right here. Are you ready for invitation? Okay. So you can learn more. Yeah, you can click this button. Yeah, it does make sense. Okay, so the company mentioned this, but they just made it like in a separate section. Okay. In this case, do not also forget that if your company places such kind of advertisement, they for sure collect places cookies for marketing purposes. And this information should be identified in the privacy policy, which identified in this policy as well, because I see only the explanation of cookies, but I don't see information that your company collects third-party cookies or first-party cookies or both. So you just omitted this information. This is also not good. Next section, disclosure of your information. The company should share in this section all types of third parties, any parties with whom the company shares or discloses personal data of their users. So right now we need to clarify and we need to check whether all types of third parties which we investigated today are mentioned right here. First type, subsidiaries and affiliates. This is a general practice, so this is okay. Contractors, service providers, other third parties we use to support our business and who are bound by contractual obligations. As far as I understand, the company mentioned all types of third parties, vendors, service providers, which are their data processors. And this is the right issue to do because you need to disclose information about all third parties providers which you use, which your websites use. And remember, we saw information here, some types of vendors which this website uses. HubSpot, I'm sure that the company uses HubSpot for customer support services. We also see Google. I suppose that the company might use Google Analytics as well. It makes sense usually. Some social media platforms, we have mentioned them as well. So yeah, in this case, one important notice. The company mentioned that they share information with third parties, but they do not mention for which purposes they do this. They just mentioned that they use them to support their business. But it doesn't make clear for me for which types of business operations, for which types of business functions actually the company does this. But it's important to mention all of them. So this is like another point which I would add for the company and which I would also add to this privacy policy. Another category of parties, buyers or successors in the event of, it's also a general practice if a company enters in any type of corporate transactions like merger, restructuring, reorganization, etc. They will need to share all their assets, including personal data of their users, with this type of companies. So it makes sense, this type of information will need to be shared, and for sure you need to mention about this possibility as well. Here we are good. To fulfill the purposes for which you provide it. To stay in touch. I mean this in this case, company tried to explain that it uses information for to respond to other inquiries of users. Actually, I do not understand why they put this clause right here, because in this case, we talked about disclosing to any parties, to any third parties, but this is the description of the purpose. So this block of information should be moved here, yeah, where we saw the list of different purposes of use. Because in this case, I don't see information about third party with whom you share. I do not understand why you do this like this. When you provide it with your consent, and again, with your consent for any other purposes disclosed by us. Why this information is placed in this section? This section is exclusively related to your sharing and disclosure practices. It doesn't need to involve any information about your purposes, because your purposes have been already highlighted earlier, and they need to be highlighted here. Look, for any purposes with your consent. With your consent. This is the same information, both this information relates to the first block, to the purposes of use. So I guess you understood the main point here, and let's move further. Yeah, some additional information about disclosing practices. Sometimes, company needs to disclose information to comply with their legal obligations. This is a general practice, and it's quite normal in most privacy legislation. To enforce or apply terms of use or other agreements, and you believe that you need to protect your rights. In this case, we also talk about some practices when company needs to do it in order to protect the rights of the company or the rights of their users. For example, if some kind of investigations is going on and the company might need to disclose some personal data in the light of this investigation. So all these practices are normal. Choices about how you use and disclose your information. What actually we need to mention here? When we talk about choices, we talk about scope of privacy rights and scope of privacy choices that your users have with regard their privacy rights. And we see here the information about cookies, that you can set your browsers to some browser cookies, okay. And that is all, guys. We don't see any other information here, so we don't see any other rights. Users do not have any other rights. This is a problem, because I see that company claims that they follow Californian Civil Code section. Your Californian privacy rights. The company has a section dedicated to Californian residents. What does it mean? It means that company collects data from Californian residents. If actually company does this, what does it mean? The company needs to guarantee a minimum set of privacy rights and privacy choices for their users to be able to prove their compliance with Californian privacy law. Look, guys, there's an important moment. Californian privacy law is really progressive and it has evolved throughout centuries. What you need to understand is that we have different numbers of privacy laws in California. For example, the first one, which was adopted in early 2000, it was Californian Online Privacy Act, and it says that all companies that collects personal data of users from California, they need to ensure the right to request correction of their personal data. So it actually was the first right that was embedded in Californian law and guaranteed the minimum set of privacy rights. But if company claims that they actually collect personal data from Californians, they do not provide this right to users. I do not see this information in both the sections about this. It means that the company cannot ensure this right to users. In this case, the company violates the law. But the company mentioned that they provide information about disclosure of personal data for direct marketing purposes of third parties. Actually, in this case, we are talking about the Shine Line Act of California. It was, I guess, the second act. I'm not sure right now, but it was another act in California, which highlighted the important practices for companies and the need to disclose any information about their marketing purposes. If company collects any kind of personal data from their users and then disclose them with third parties for their direct marketing purposes, they need to highlight this, they need to disclose this, and they need to provide users with the right to request information about this disclosure. So that was the company guarantees. But the company doesn't state whether or not they actually do this, whether or not they performs these practices and disclose information for direct marketing purposes to other parties. So we cannot understand from this section. But you can request this. Okay. Another important point, guys. Californian privacy laws has also a newly adopted law. It's actually not new as of now, but you know that the most worldwide known law in California is CCPA law, and it set really strict rules with regard to protection of privacy rights of users from California. But the reason that I cannot investigate this issue and cannot prove the need of the company to comply with this law is that I need to assess all threshold criteria step by step, and I do not know all necessary information to do it right now. But I have a really useful video about assessing your applicability with Californian privacy law, and I can share the link in this video so you can see it, and you will be able to understand how it works and how you can do it on your own. But now let's move forward with this website and with this privacy policy. Data security practices. Actually, in this section, company always highlights the information about which technological, organizational, administrative measures they take to protect user personal data. And right here, we can see that company just has some general information that, any information that you transmit or disclose is for your own risks, okay, and that they have implemented measures. but it's not clear which kind of measures they actually implemented. It is also not good. I always suggest companies to put a list of all measures they take to protect users' personal data, and in this case, it makes your practices transparent and clear for users. So this section also requires some correction and some improvement. And changes to our privacy policy, we have already mentioned them, and we also mentioned, unfortunately, which type of improvement it requires. Contact information. To ask any questions, you can contact the company at this. Okay guys, this is really important information also, because every privacy policy needs to contain information about how your users can contact you. And as you can see, in this case, company provided only one type of contact, only email. But at the same time, while exploring this website today, we also noticed that the company also provides some telephone numbers, so they could do both of them. But okay, it's like optional in this case, because if we speak about United States privacy law, about United States privacy legislation, it's not obligatory to provide several types of contact, so this fine. I guess we continued. Yeah, actually we finished reviewing this privacy policy today, and I have pointed a lot of really essential points today. I believe that you really found this video today helpful, and it will help you avoid the same mistakes in your website or in your mobile applications, whatever you have. I hope that if for any reason the company about which we talked today find this video and will be able to watch it, it for sure correct these mistakes and make it much more better. If you need my help, you can also contact me. I will gladly assist you in this case as well. But we have wrapped up everything that I want to talk to you about. Remember that by subscribing to my channel, you will stay updated to new videos which I post on this channel and on this playlist specifically, and it will also help me continue recording these videos and grow my channel. So thank you for watching me today, and see you in the next videos, guys. Bye!